Guys, I'm Dolly Jain. As you know, I'm a drape artist, and I'm really very glad to be connecting with ShaadiSaga today and to teach you all some of my very favorite draping styles. And before we start, guys, how are you all? I hope you all are staying home, staying safe, and more than anything, staying positive. So we all know what's happening, and I really don't want to talk about it because there's so much going around. But what I want to talk about is we all are at home, we have a lot of time. So let's utilize this time in doing something productive, learning something new, and learning draping at a platform like ShaadiSaga, where there's so many brides also being connected to this platform, and so many more. This platform has been inspiring. So let's go ahead. I think we've done that. Just let me do that once again. Should we do it once again? I think we can do it here. One sec, guys.
No, you can't.
I think it's done. Okay, let me go live now. Okay, Ratika, just stand there. So we'll just see if they can see us. I hope you all can hear me. Can you just show me a thumbs up so I know everything is clear and you all can hear me properly? Great. Perfect. Come, Ratika. So today what I'm going to teach you is, I've taken a traditional sari and I wanted to show you all how a traditional sari can, look modern by just changing the drape of the sari. So I'm just going to show you. Come. So this is what she's wearing is a crop top and a pant. And this is what, how the young generation really wants to wear something which is more modern, more fusion. They're not much interested into wearing those traditional blouses. I think they're more comfortable into wearing more blouses which are more like crop tops. So this is a drape that I'm going to show you today. Normally, and it is a traditional sari, this is a bandhani sari. So normally we've seen bandhani saris have been worn by only our, like I've seen my mother wearing it, and when it came down to me wearing this sari, I thought it's very old fashioned. But I'm teaching you all, guys, because how you can pick up your mother's sari from her wardrobe and style it in a different way and give a very modern look to it. So this is what she's wearing. Normally we start 2 inches from your navel, but this sari you need to start from the shoulder pleating. So this is how we pleat, okay? So just take, throw and hold. So this. Once you've done your pleats, just hold them together and rest it on your shoulders. Now, as I always tell you all, please don't use too much pins when you're pinning up your sari, because when you're using a pin here, you're unnecessarily making extra holes which is not required at all. So I think the best thing is to use these pegs. They are safe and they are customized in a way they can hold the heaviest of your saris. So let me just hold this. Okay. So now you're just going to make your pleats. I'm just making my shoulder pleats, and try and make narrow pleats. Don't make too broad pleats, because the broader you take pleats from here, the broader you start looking. So try and take narrow pleats. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking those narrow pleats. And no pins, just the peg. And I rest it on the shoulder and I start making pleats again. What you need to do is just learn the trick of making neat pleats. I think once you learn that, half battle is won. So I think this. And after you've reached the desired length, after you've seen that this is the length, not too long, not too short, here it is, okay? Then what you need to do is just take a pin and secure all your pleats on the shoulders. What you need to do is, you don't need to secure it with your blouse. You just need to secure the entire pleats together, okay? So after you've done that, just take this off and remove the other peg also. Just be a little this side. Yeah, remove the other peg also. Now from here, you have to take the saree, okay? And now you have to just take this and leave a cowl here. See how I've left a cowl? And I tuck this fabric behind. Got it? Okay. Now I come this side. And normally how we've seen, there are few of the videos which I've seen, they've shown pleating like this. But guys, I think this doesn't justify. I'll show you what they do first. This is the drape that I've seen. You know, this. So when you do this, see, actually there's no shape here. And you're unnecessarily, you purposely have to walk in a way where you can show your pants. But your pants should naturally fall and it should just look beautiful when you've draped. I mean, the saree should just shape the whole pant rather than, you throwing your pleats to show your pants. So I think, so same thing what you have to do is, instead of making pleats like this, you have to hold this part where you have this fall attached, okay? And you start making your pleats from that side. So you make your pleats like this. If you have a habit of making your pleats like this, please go ahead, there's no harm. But I always like doing my pleats like this, this. It's easy, it's quick, and I think over the years I've just practiced this thing, so it's quick for me.
The dolly giants throw and hold.
Yeah, so she's my daughter, guys, and she's saying the dolly gents throw and hold pattern, yeah. So I'm just going to use another one pin. Pin. Yeah. So use another pin and just secure this also together. Got it? Okay. So we've secured the shoulders, we've secured the pleats, and now just align them properly and tuck it here. Right between your navel, I mean just below your navel, and not too much towards your right, not too much towards your right in the center. After you've done that, as much as cowl you've left here, the same amount of cowl you're going to leave this side. The reason why we leave cowl is because young girls, they don't want to carry too much in their hand, they want their hands to be free. So they like using, and obviously when you're wearing it on your pant, you want to access the pockets here. So you can keep your phone in here, a little cash and whatever you want to, those little things that you want to carry. So you can just put it here and you can just be, hand free and relaxed. So after you've done this, both the sides, now you need to take the whole saree together. What I'm doing is I'm holding the saree, just go in front. Yeah, I'm holding the entire saree together. Now you need to take this and you start pleating, holding both the sarees. Look at this. So I'm holding this and I'm making pleats with both the sarees. I hope, yeah, it's very clear and I think you all can see this. And give me a bit. take this also and secure this also with a pin. So we've used 3 pins, one on the shoulder, one on the waist and one behind. So this, and you tuck the entire fabric inside like this. Got it? See. And since we've made box pleats and we've not made those regular pleats, it just falls flat and just doesn't give you those extra inches that you're worried about, that if I'm going to tuck so much of the fabric behind, I might look fat, but it doesn't happen so. So after that, you just come in front and just take this from here and readjust your pleats, because you just want it to just fall beautifully with those cowls, yeah, like this.
I love how I have like pink here and yellow here and green behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this sari is like the whole green is behind, and how beautifully it is, like the yellow comes here, finishes halfway and the green begins. The green finishes and the pink begins, and it's got like 3 colors. You can also do like a 2-color thing wherein you have the palla. I mean, the sari from here can be another color or another embroidery or another fabric, and this part can be different. Like I wore a sari which was like half black and half red. So what had happened was, like, the sari was divided so beautifully that this part was like red, and the part that I took on my palla, on my shoulders, was black, and it looked beautiful. So after you've done this, what you can also do is, like like I don't prefer wearing a belt because I feel I start looking fat from this side. But like girls, they don't like when their pleats are just moving around. They like things to be fixed, and I would not advise you to use another 1 pin here, another 1 pin here, and unnecessarily make holes. And you know what? Because the girls are not very used to, saris. What if they forget that there's a pin here and they pull the sari, then they're going to tear the sari from there. So instead of doing any such thing, I think the best way to fix this is to use by using a belt. I mean, I'm going to just show you from behind also how it looks. So just turn around, Latika. So this is how it looks from back. Yeah, like this. So what I've done is, I fixed the, the palla pleats with the belt. If you want, you can take it off also and just pleat your front side. But this looks really nice. I mean, it will just go a little up. Yeah. So where exactly you need to put your belt, I mean, most of them put it on, it's called a waist belt, but genuinely it's not, worn on your waist.
Yeah.
It's worn a little higher and, on the slimmest part of your body, I mean this side here.
Right. Yeah.
Here. So because the moment you put it there, you will start looking slim. If you put it here, I think you'll start looking heavier than what you are. So I think this is one of the style that I would advise girls to wear. And then you can also, if you want to do a little extra drama and you think that your palla is beautiful and has a lot of embroidery, then instead of just leaving it behind, what you can do is just take this and attach it in your hand with a pin, and this also looks beautiful like this. I mean, you can just stand with a pose like this. Look at this. Yeah, I can just pin it up and show once. Yeah, so you can just use a small pin like this, and you can just, it's going to be very easy where, when it is not your first cousin's or someone's wedding where you don't have to do much, you just need to go attend and flaunt your outfit. There, I think this is a very good thing to do. And even if you have to, you've already pinned it up and you've got enough liberty to move your hand because the fabric is there. So I think that is also very, very easy. Just keeps the whole thing so much in place and gives you the beauty of a cowl. I think it looks fabulous like this. So guys, I think you all should try this drape. I will quickly show you how this drape looks. So yeah, I will quickly show you how.
Ask them if they can hear you.
Can you all hear me? Is there any connection problem? So guys, it's raining, thundering. I mean, it's like heavy rainfall here. So I think might be there's some connection issue, but I think that's good. Okay. So we'll just go ahead. Okay. So now what I want to show you is, Radhika, come quickly, just get into it. This one? Yeah.
I have to
Just take this. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how this sari, with no changes at all, what you're changing is just the bottom, and how this sari can, like, you know, this is looking fusion, this is looking, it's giving a westernized look, but how you can wear it on an Indian lehenga and make it look so beautiful, so it looks dramatic, it looks classic, and it's like, you know, for those who want to wear it for a wedding, I think this is a very, very nice drape. It's very easy to carry, and you can just go ahead with it. So we were just waiting for her to come. Till then, you all can put in those questions. It's, guys, if you want to know how you're going to drape this yourself, because I know this must be a question you all must be wondering, because I have been doing this on her. So what you need to do is just take this. I'm going to quickly show you with a dupatta. So what you're going to do is, you know how to make these shoulder pleats. You've done your shoulder pleats, okay. From here you've taken the cowl and you've tucked in here, right? This is what you did. Now what you do is, after you've secured this with pin, take a pin and do a mark here. So you know that this is the place where the cowl is going to end, here, okay. Then you come this side, then you bring the whole sari this side, and you make your pleats like this, right? This is what we did, and you tucked this in, and then you left another fabric here. You left this like a cowl here. So you just hold this and you make add another pin here and mark this also. Now you take the whole sari and you hold this part and the other part where you had pinned, hold both of them together and start pleating them like the way I've shown you, like this. And it's going to be so easy for you to drape it all by yourself. Come, Latika.
take in more questions.
Okay. Now just wanted to tell you all, you know, that a sari, like I know about how to drape a sari in about 325 different variations. There are so many more styles and so many more variations, because these days, as we know, the designers are coming up with so many different styles of fabric and so many different styles of blending of weaves are happening, that, you know, every time a new fabric comes in my hand, we plan to do something new, a new drape for all of you. So there's so many things that I wanted to share. Is like, one of the most important thing is, please wear an underarm pad when you're wearing your blouses, because, you know, this area, if it sweats, it just ruins your blouse and there is no way that you can rectify it. So just use an underarm pad whenever you're wearing a blouse. In fact, just stick it to your blouse and keep it. I think that's the best way to save your blouses also. Come, Latika. So what she slipped into is the new generation petticoat, which is called the new D coat. This is the new launch that I have recently done, as I wanted to give the world the new style of wearing a petticoat. You know, this is something I want to share with all of you. If you can see this two belt here. So basically why this is, move back. So basically why this is, it is because when you're wearing this on this height, okay, you're wearing this with heel. But after some time, when you think you don't want to wear heels, but still your lehenga is too long, what you simply have to do is just push this inside. And the lehenga immediately becomes 2 inches smaller, 2 inches shorter to you. And it becomes easy for you to just take off your footwear and, you know, wear what you've been, you know, you can be barefooted also, because your inches that's been bothering you has gone inside. So I'm just taking this off now because she's wearing. And we've also given a, you know, a pocket here.
So important.
Yeah, so that you can access same way as you did it you do it in your pants. Okay. Now this drape, she's just removed it without removing any of the pins. Now see how I do this. Just take this and this goes on your shoulders like this. You rest this here. You've taken this, the ones that you had made box pleats of. Just take this and you take this and you tuck this behind. Okay, leaving this as a gown. Yeah. And you take this and you come in front. And look at this. It's the same sari, same drape. I haven't changed anything. What you can even do is you can just pre-drape a night before and keep it, and the next morning I think it's just zip zip zap zoom and your sari is actually done, because what you need to do is just this and you're done. And it's very easy to wear. This drape looks very nice because it just gives so much, it just adds so much drama to your garment. And then here also, if you just want, you can add a belt here. Yeah, just add a belt. And I think, and the only thing that you need to understand is whenever you're wearing a skirt like this, try and wear the color combination has to be, the skirt and the blouse should be of the same color. Over here what you're seeing, there are too many colors, but I didn't have a matching color decoat, otherwise I would have given you a white only, a white and a pink flows. Or if you can just wear with a sari like this, I think a pink beautiful organza blouse and a beautiful organza skirt also would look really very nice if you wear it like this. So I think this is a kind of a drape which goes both with your Indian lehenga like this and your western look like the way I've just shown you. So guys, please go and try. Now when it comes to draping a dupatta, because today we are talking about draping a sari and a dupatta. So when it comes to draping a dupatta, like obviously once you've draped a sari like this, you don't want to take it off and you want to add some extra drama.
Absolutely not.
You want to add an extra drama to this only. Now suppose a bride is wearing, if she's just wearing this, I think there's something little missing, wherein I feel she can always add that little extra thing because she's the bride. So after she's worn this, what I feel is just take a nice beautiful dupatta, pleat it and rest it. Guys, what you all do, where you all are going wrong is you use this shoulder also and you use this shoulder also. Now when you do this, the beauty of the blouse completely is ruined because there is only this part of the blouse which is visible. That also because she is wearing a high neck. What if she is wearing a low neck or a V-cut? Imagine there is no blouse visible at all, which starts making the sari look dull rather, because nowadays the designers are working so much over the blouse also. So what I feel is, let this part be the way it is. Let your skin show from here, because the little skin showing looks really beautiful. So your jewelry can be seen, your skin can be seen here. You've got your sleeves here, which is beautifully embroidered and maybe till here. So that also looks very nice. So let that part be the way it is. Use this dupatta on this side, like this. And if you're using a belt, I would advise you to belt only one part and leave this the way it is. Let me just pin it up so it's easy. I'm just pinning it up from the top only, like this. So what I feel is, see, look at this. So basically, see, it's a lot happening, and for a bride, I think it looks really very beautiful. And if she wants, she can always take this in her hand, and she can play with this fabric around when she's talking to someone. So the sari is fully fixed on her, and the dupatta is something which she can carry in her arms also. And if you think that the sari is very beautiful and you've got beautiful border and very very pretty embroidery, and you don't want to hide it with the dupatta but you still want to add the dupatta, then there's another way that you can do it is add a dupatta, okay, and take it like this.
Oh damn!
I'll just show you from the eyeballs how it looks. So it is like this. So it's the sari comes from here. Yeah. So the sari comes from here. Look at this. It's this, the sari. This is the sari which has your beautiful embroidery which you don't want to hide. And this is your dupatta. This is your sari. This is your dupatta, and people will start wondering from where has she inserted, how is it coming out, and all those things. And for all those, like this can be even worn by the bride's mother, and if she thinks she doesn't want to, she's busty or she's got heavy, this area is heavy and she wants to hide all of those. When she's doing those rituals, we all understand when a bride's mother is doing the rituals, this part of the skin is a lot visible if the drape is not done properly. So I think she can also do a drape like this, and just add a pin here.
Right.
So it just adds that drama that the bride's mother also would want to do, but doesn't look too much also, and I think it's very very classic. I hope you all agree with me. If you all do, just give me a quick thumbs up.
You don't get thumbs up, you get hearts here.
Oh, you get hearts. Okay, give me a lot of hearts then. Great. So now I think this is what I wanted to share with all of you, and so we'll just sit now and we'll just take up some questions and we'll start answering all your questions. Let me know if you have any problem in this, guys. You can always DM me because I answer to all your messages personally. And if there is anything else that you want me to do, like if there is any such fabric that you're getting stuck with and you don't know what to do, just click a picture, send it to me, or you can wear it and send me a picture as to, like, maybe sometimes your pleats aren't proper or your lower pleats aren't setting. You can always make a small video and send it to me. I will definitely revert back to you. I have ample time, guys. So any which ways, even when I didn't, I was busy. I sat down and I took out time and I made sure that I'm answering to all your messages. So I think we'll just say her a bye and I'll just join you and we'll just do question answers. So thank you so much, Ratika. So where should we? We just sit there. I'll take these things. Ratika, can you just help me with this?
Yeah. I'll do it after.
Yeah, come. Yeah, and I'll just need my D-coat also. Huh? Yeah, this, yeah. Quickly, guys, let me just fix this.
Are we cool?
Yeah, I think... just give me that D-coat bag also. I think we'll just sit and... I'll leave the dupatta also, Ratika.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
It was such a great session. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you.
It was
In
so
fact,
informative and you literally just blew my mind with that draping. It was amazing.
thank you all. In fact, this is such a beautiful platform ShaadiSaga has been doing such a fabulous job. I really appreciate for all that you have been
Thank you.
doing. And I think calling me in a platform, because being an artist, you need different platforms to showcase your
Definitely.
art.
Yes.
And I'm so passionate about this. And whenever someone wears a sari or a drape that I have taught them, or they've learned it from my YouTube and they send me a picture, trust
Yes.
me, it every time it gives me a goosebump that, oh my God, she's worn it so beautifully. I have taught her, sari is back, and it feels so good.
Yes, we're so glad you're so brilliant at what you do. So I'm sure you inspire so many people doing that.
Thank you.
Also, guys, if you have any question regarding what Dolly just showed you or in general about sari, then do send them in the comments right now and she will answer them. All right, let's start with the first question. So, because of coronavirus and this lockdown, a lot of weddings have been postponed. So, a lot of brides have already bought their outfits. Now, the outfits that they've bought, how should they store it safely so that it doesn't get spoiled, it doesn't get crimpled? What tips do you have for that?
Guys, the first thing you all should know, Ratika, get me that hanger. Guys, the first thing that you all should know is all the light fabrics, I mean the fabrics which doesn't have weight, which doesn't have a lot of
Yes.
embroidery, you can hang them. I mean, there is a hanger. This is the hanger. These hangers which just glides the sari in. But when you do that, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So when you do that, what happens is your sari just falls off. But when you take a hanger like this, what happens is you can just put in your sari and lock, and your sari doesn't move at all.
Right.
Okay. So I think something like a hanger like this, is
Is this
very good.
hanger called something
This is
particularly?
called a lock hanger.
Lock hanger.
Lock hanger. Just try and search for this. It is brilliant. So you can just keep this. And for all the other things, I mean, a lot of you must have done your wedding shopping. So they send you those saris in those poly bags, polythenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So guys, take out the saris from your polythenes and keep it in a malmal cloth.
Hmm.
You just take a white plain malmal cloth and keep your sari here and just fold it like an envelope. Just fold it
Yeah.
and keep it, because that's the way you need to store your sari. Because your sari, if your sari is, because we all, what we're buying is pure silk, um,
Yes.
pure, those pure fabrics like bandhani or silk or kanjivarams and all these kind of
Hmm.
fabrics. So what you need to do is you need to let the fabric breathe as well. So when you're putting it in a linen, in a malmal cloth, the fabric has enough space to breathe. So
Right.
don't stock them one on top of the other. Just
Right.
keep a layer of malmal cloth or anything, so that your sari, in the long run, वो एक दूसरे का color लगने का भी risk रहता है, and that risk you
Anji.
really need to avoid. So I think
Anji.
that's also what you can do. And for all your lehengas and all, just leave it the way it is. What you can just do it, if it is like, I think if it is 2-3 months, it's fine. But if it is longer than that, like most of the weddings that I know have been shifted to November and December.
Right. Yes.
So I think you can just remove the polythene or the cling, the packing that they've done, just
Right.
remove it. And I think just leave it overnight, just open it up and leave
To
it
breathe.
overnight. Yeah. And just pack it back in the same box that the designer must have sent you.
Right.
And also be very, very careful, because the designer's boxes are made of wood, or, anything which can attract termite. So
Termites. Yes.
if there is something like that, you have to be very careful, because long run, I've had a very bad experience with one of my bride who actually left her lehenga in that, and after 2 years, she didn't even bother, because she thought she's kept it very properly in the box that the designer had given her. But somehow the termite was there inside, and she didn't even know
Oh
about it.
God.
And the whole lehenga had a big hole.
Oh no.
And that was her Sangeet lehenga, so beautifully done, and there was no way that could be rectified. So guys, just be very careful about this and just put it out. And I think, just leave it for 2 days and just fold it
Right.
back and keep it. I mean, that's how you can do it.
Shruti here is asking, what about the lehenga bags which are given? Is that good?
Yeah, lehenga bags are always, if they are of that linen fabric or that muslin fabric, I think it's completely fine. And because that's what is the bag that the designers use, or they
Right.
even use argandi. They also use those, argandi kind of a fabric. I think if that is there, that's also fine. But the starch has to be removed. The starch also attracts a lot of, pesticides.
Okay.
So that has to be
Also,
taken
while
care.
you were talking about using an underarm pad while wearing a blouse, someone asked, is there an alternative for it?
Yeah, sanitary napkin.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, if you don't have an underarm pad, you can always use a sanitary napkin. So that's a
So
quick hack.
yeah, because most of the time what happens is you run out of your underarm pads and you just
Yeah. And a
you
normal
you
pad
you
does the
keep
same work.
yeah, and you keep thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to order it, I'm going to buy it, because generally here you don't find it. I've always got it online. So if you think that's over, you can even use panty liners if you're wearing
Yeah.
something like a sleek thing. But if you're
Right.
wearing something like what I'm wearing, like something which is broad,
Right.
so you can use a sanitary pad. I think it's completely okay.
Okay.
But the underarm pads are quite thin. So for time being, I mean, it's just like a savior. It just saves you for that minute. But a underarm pad is an underarm pad.
Right. Also, someone asked while you were doing the first drape that what is it called? The
It's called the
first drape.
fusion. It's called the fusion style of draping. Fusion
Fusion.
because it's an Indian sari, but it's draped on a Western garment.
Yeah.
So
My God, it was so beautiful.
thank
It
you.
was really beautiful. All right. My next question is, how should one decide the draping style of their lehenga?
So it depends on what you're wearing and what is the occasion. Like I always feel like, for example, uh, like suppose a bride is on her wedding day, what she should do. I'm going to tell you that way.
Yeah.
So nowadays, if you see, every other guest who's attending the wedding is equally heavily dressed,
Hmm.
because they're also wearing a designer outfit. They're
Yes.
also wearing their heaviest of jewelry. They've
Yes.
called a makeup artist to do a makeup. They've got a hair artist to do the hair. They've got a
Right.
drape artist to do the drape. So, everything is like, if the bride doesn't add that extra drama in her draping,
Yes.
then she will not look like a bride if she's not covering her head, because the only difference we see is the bride is covering her head. So what I feel is
Right.
the bride should do like a 2 dupatta or a 3 dupattas. So one dupatta is a complete no-no, because with only
Hmm.
one dupatta you can only put it on your body, but you can't do that extra drama. You cannot cover your
Yes.
head. So I think you should always opt for 3 dupattas. So 2 dupatta, the way I've shown you with a
Hmm.
sari, you can use it like that. And the other dupatta comes on your head as a veil. And you should always decide dupatta in such a way that you can later on use it also. So I would suggest, if you want to do a 3 dupatta, go ahead with it. But what I would suggest is take a sari and take 2 dupattas.
Okay.
Yeah, because that will, and you can drape it like the way I've done it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks fabulous, because on most of my brides have started doing this and they've started loving it. Why? Because they're completely confident with all that belt and everything happening. And second thing is, the sari can be reused with the blouse that she's wearing of the lehenga.
Yes. Yes.
And the dupatta can be used with a simpler, maybe like a linen kurta, linen anarkali kurta, and you've just taken the dupatta.
Right.
Because it's not that you've invested so much on the wedding garment. You just can't keep it folded and think, no, it is just for the wedding. You can just use it in
Right.
multiple ways. So
Mix and match.
I would suggest you to, opt for a sari rather than doing too much of dupattas. Because sari is something which you can change, drape. You can use the sari alone for your friend's wedding, later when you
Right.
have a party or anything, anywhere you can
Hmm.
use it.
Hmm.
So I think that's how you should be doing it.
All right. So, what do you suggest a bride should go for, a single dupatta or a double dupatta?
Always double dupattas.
Always
Always.
double.
2,
And what
3,
should they do?
4. More is less.
The more the merrier. And what should they do with this the second dupatta that they're using, the double dupatta?
So the second dupatta, what I feel is, like the way I've taught you here, you can just take this dupatta
Uh,
and rest it on the same side where
mm,
you're resting the other dupatta,
right.
the main dupatta.
Right.
Just don't use the other shoulder, just have both of them together. So one can just be like a dupatta and the other
Mm.
can cover your bust. Looks very, very beautiful. And you
Also, a
can
lot of
play with your
questions.
color also.
Right. A lot of questions. Okay, someone asked, Bhavna asked, what about the head dupatta? The dupatta that comes on your head?
Yeah. So the head dupatta, you need to understand, sometimes the designer has
Mm.
designed it particularly only for the head. I mean,
Right.
they give that round shape down, orave, they cut it in
Uh,
an orave thing.
yeah.
And that is something I think you need to take a call. If you just want to take a head veil, just leave it
Mm.
like that. That's your wedding memory. I mean, you can just store it like that only.
Right.
So that you can't do anything much. Any other, because when there is a baby shower or there is any other special event in your family, instead of covering your head from here, you can always cover your head from here and use the same dupatta
Right.
and add that drama, I think.
Right. Manal is asking, she has a net dupatta of her wedding outfit. So can you suggest a single dupatta style for it? And also how can she safely store the net dupatta?
The net dupatta, as I always say, ki always fold and keep it. But
Hmm.
it also depends on what is the kind of embroidery that your dupatta has. If the
Right.
dupatta has only the border and no jal, try and use a hanger like this. Just hang and keep it. No point in folding and keep it, because if you have jal, like suppose this is the dupatta and you folded it, kept it like, because it's jal, then what
Yeah.
happens, the thread gets entangled with the other and
Hmm.
it starts pulling and the
Hmm.
whole embroidery goes for a toss. But when you put it in a hanger, basically it's one side this side and the other layer this side, and in between, if you want, you can hang a malmal cloth also. So that
Oh.
way you're protecting, you're giving one layer in
Okay.
between your sari, and that's a very sensible way of keeping your net dupattas. And the way to drape it, I think, it also depends on your lehenga. So if you can show me your lehenga, or you can DM me the picture of the lehenga that you're wearing, because a lot depends on how much you want to show. Like if
Right.
your blouse has a beautiful embroidery and your lehenga doesn't at all,
Hmm.
so then what you need to emphasize is on your blouse. Then your dupatta draping will be completely different.
Different. Right.
And if your blouse is simple and your lehenga has beautiful embroidery, then
Right.
the entire focus, the draping has to be in such a way that the entire focus goes on the lehenga.
Hmm.
And many a times we see that the bride has, I mean, not the bride, the girls have, like the young girls, they do a very simple blouse, like a high neck, elbow sleeves, and a
Right.
plain blouse and a plain lehenga. And the dupatta is beautifully embroidered.
Right.
So then the draping has to be done in a different way. We do an open palla for them, because the embroidery is the only thing that you would want to show in the
So,
dupatta. When you've got a beautiful jal embroidery, I always suggest don't pleat and keep it, because when you pleat, you insert the entire jal inside and you've paid for that jal. I mean, why do pleat it and hide the jal when you've paid for it? So
right.
I think the embroidery should be flaunted. Yeah.
Okay. Anita is asking us, does it look good if a bride is wearing a sari on her wedding day and she takes an extra dupatta on her head?
Looks fabulous. Looks
And
fabulous.
you
I'm
should
a
just wear it
completely
loose.
sari person. It looks fabulous if you take a sari and you wear it. Yeah,
Hmm.
little. If you
All
take a
right.
sari and, yeah, water. If you take a sari and you just wear it and just pleat it nicely, because if you're taking a dupatta, don't leave it
Right.
open, because then this is also open and this is also left. I think it becomes too messy. So I
Hmm.
would advise, take a nice pleated sari like the Navy style, And take a head veil and cover your dupatta. I think cover your head. It looks beautiful.
Right. Okay. Another question is, how do you perfect the lower pleats, and what kind of pins should one use to secure it?
Okay, now for pins, I have been always telling you all something. Now let me hold it.
Right.
Okay, so this is a pin organizer. Okay, guys, you all can see this. This is a beautiful box which has pin organizer. Now I'll tell you where you all go wrong. Now, this is the pin. Now always use a double lock pin. You all can see this. Look at this.
Yeah.
You always use a double lock pin. It's a stainless steel pin. It is beautiful because it's very, very handy, and it's stainless steel. So it just glides into those heaviest and the thickest of the fabric. Now what happens with your safety pin? Now you've used this pin, and when you pull this fabric, your fabric gets inside this coil.
Yeah.
And it becomes very, very difficult for you to take it out. It becomes very difficult for you to remove it. It tears your sari, even if the most expensive of your sari also is torn because of this pin. So what you need to do is use this. I'll show you all. Take a pearl and put the pearl inside this.
Okay.
Okay, now when I'm putting this and I'm pulling it, now see what happens. How much ever I'm going to pull, the pearl is going to save my sari from getting inside this coil. And your sari is safe forever. Now this, what you can do, you can use a glue stick, glue drop, anything, and stick this pearl with the pin and just keep it. So this brand Drape Diva, they provide pearls also inside this, making it very easy for you to not hunt for your pearls. And sometimes if you already have this kind of pins and you don't have pearl with you, you can also use a shirt button. So I mean, to save that thing, the concept is to lock the coil there and then, not letting the fabric go beyond that point.
Right.
So these are the kind of pins that you should be using, and these pegs are a must. I mean, if you want to practice any kind of draping, any kind of pleating hacks, I've been using this for the past 10 years, and I still swear with them.
Right. A lot of other questions that we get is, what kind of draping should brides who are a little on the hefty side should go for, so that it looks nice, makes them look a little lean?
Yeah. So I always think you should go for pleated ones. People have a different concept. I don't know how this came into the scene, that they started telling that that when you wear pleated, you start looking fat. But what makes you look fat, I'm going to show you. See, when you take this, normally when someone is heavy from this side, what she does she takes her pleats broad, thinking that she needs to
cover.
She needs to cover this.
Right.
But eventually what happens is, it doesn't cover anything, but it just starts making her so broad from this side. So guys, just pleat the whole thing, but remember to make the pleats of your shoulder width and rest it on your shoulder. Nothing goes beyond your shoulder. Get me that sari, Ratika. As I've done this here, let me just show this to you. Look at this. The pleats that I've done is, like, even if I would want to wear this, I'm going to rest this. Here is my pleats. One sec here. Yeah. I'm going to rest this on my shoulders.
Right.
See this. So immediately your frame starts looking narrow. Now I'm going to show you a broad pleat, and I'll show you how that looks. Now look at this. Now I've done a broad pleat. Can you see this?
Yes.
So the broader you take from here, the broader your body will start looking. So instead of doing that, always advise to take a thing which rests on your body. This will make you
Right.
look slim.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Manal is asking, can you suggest how to pin the dupatta over your head securely so that it doesn't come out or move?
So the best way to put a head dupatta is take a dupatta and measure it like wherever you want to put. Oh. So if you want to secure it like this, you've measured this. Okay, now take this out from here and add two golden pins here and one in the center. Okay, after that, place it on your head, and then those golden pins that you're going to use are those small golden pins. And take two bobby pins and just crisscross it inside and fix it with the hair.
Right.
Now, when you're doing this, always remember to use a hairspray on the safety pin and on the bobby pin before putting it on the dupatta and on the head. So you've taken a safety pin, you've used a hairspray, and they taken a bobby pin, used a hairspray, and then you fix, because the pin and the safety pin have smooth surface.
Right.
So the moment you use a hairspray, it just makes it little sticky and makes it little rough. So it just gets stuck there, letting your and when you're fixing it on your hair, also just put an extra hairspray here.
Right.
So it just holds your dupatta better. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll take a last question. Ishu is asking, for a bride who's a little hefty, should they select a heavy embroidered blouse or a dupatta, like a blouse or a dupatta?
Come back again.
She's asking for a bulgy bride, someone who's a little hefty, they should select a heavy embroidered blouse or a heavy dupatta.
So I think a heavy embroidered blouse is a complete no. If you're busty, no. Because the more the embroidery, the more busty you start looking. So I think a dupatta should, just be more embroidered. So I think that looks prettier.
Right.
That's so more advisable, yes.
Okay, so heavy dupatta.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, any more questions you want to ask? Ahui is asking, how can we drape two dupattas on shoulders? How can you drape two dupattas on your shoulder?
I've just done that.
She just showed that, and
yeah, I've just done that.
Yes, because of that thick border. Okay, someone says because of a thick bordered dupatta, they can't fold it. So, like, they can't pleat it. I suppose that's what she means. So how should she go about it?
You can't fold it. I mean, I didn't get that.
A heavy thick bordered dupatta that so she cannot use it properly because the border is so thick, so she can't fold it, she says.
So fold it's what I've understood is
pleating.
I think you can't pleat it is I'm answering to that only.
Yes.
So what you need to do is, if you've got too heavy border, too thick border, so just don't try to, like, I'm going to show you here. If you have got too thick, imagine this is the border and this is this thick. So just don't fold the border inside, because if you're folding the border inside, you've paid for that thick border and the border is going inside. I mean, for me, it's so much logical because when you've gone to buy that Langa, what did you like? You like that thick border. And when it is coming to pleating, you want to hide that thick border. Buy. So I think you should just take that thick border and pleat it just like that. But whenever there is a thick border, I would always suggest you to take an open palla rather than pleating it up on your shoulders. So I think taking a free flow palla on your arms, the thick border on your arms looks beautiful rather than your shoulders. So I think should be sorted your problem.
All right. I think that's about it. I don't think we have any more questions. Okay. Thank you so much, Dolly, for doing this.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
We have one South Indian question.
Yeah, tell me.
Rami, makeup artist, is asking, can you give suggestions for South Indian bride for wearing a lehenga?
Yeah, I think South Indian brides should now, because we've seen a lot of them
Right.
only in sari. So I think now they should start wearing a lehenga and a sari together. So I think they should
Hmm.
still stick to their kanjivarams, because I somehow feel with the kind of, jewelry that they wear, a kanjivaram goes beautifully with it. So
Right.
I think there's a drape which I've recently posted. I mean, I think that was my last YouTube post. If you all can just go and have a look at that. So that is one style of drape which I think looks beautiful on a kanjivaram sari.
Hmm.
They can have a beautiful Banarsi lehenga
Right.
and wear a kanjivaram sari on it. So it looks nice also, and I think South Indian should wear kanjivarams because it just goes with that dupatta and that,
Yes.
odiyanam that they wear, that waist
Yes.
belt.
Yes.
So I think that's what.
Okay. One last question is,
There's no end to the last, huh? There's no end to the
yeah,
last, because
this
there's so
was,
much, there's so much to answer. And guys, any other
yeah,
questions that I couldn't answer, you can always DM
yep,
me,
yes,
and you can always get back. Don't worry, I'm going to answer to all your questions. But give me the last question.
yeah. Hena asks, since her wedding is postponed, is it advisable to remove the starch from the lehenga to maintain it?
Remove the starch. You mean?
As you mentioned, to remove the starch from the packaging of the lehenga or something.
Yeah, no, 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 no. The packaging, that's a very small thing. I mean, from the lehenga, you cannot remove the starch. And the lehenga will
Right,
never have a starch. The
right.
only thing that I told you to do for a lehenga is just keep it out for 2 days. Maybe just
So that it
hang it,
can
and
breathe.
where little sunlight comes, and just
Right.
put it back. It's safe. Don't worry about that. There is no starch in your lehenga. You're not wearing a cotton starched lehenga for your wedding. So don't worry about that.
Right. All right, Dolly, thank you so much for joining. And thank
Thank
you
you,
so much
dear.
for doing this. It was a brilliant session. My God, you've taught us so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much
Thank you
for
so
doing
much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
it. Right.
Stay
Also,
safe, stay healthy, dear. Yeah, tell me, tell me.
don't forget to save this live.
I'm going to save it.
Yeah.
I'm going to save it.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you
Chalo.
so much. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye. एंड नाउ करेंगे ना ये